devastated, I would have called the rescue squad, but everything went fine. She had a baby boo. 8 pounds and 3 ounces. They named him Michael.
I'm so glad. When did you get home?
I think around 12:30. Marlena clucked her tongue.
Why didn't you sleep in later then?
Because I wanted to help you. Kristina walked over to the stove and began scooping the fried eggs onto a platter. I need to earn my keep around here.
Please,
Marlena snorted. You're a second mom to these girls. Plus, my pantry in the basement is stocked with canned goods because of you. Well, it's because you all are my only family. Of course I want to share with you. She tried to ignore the sadness that swirled in her chest as she forced a smile. Had it not been for her sister and brother-in-law's generosity, Kristina would be living alone in the home she'd shared with her husband Lester before he had unexpectedly died in an accident 4 years ago. She shoved away the thoughts and placed the platter of eggs on the middle of the table. Then she began scraping a small amount onto each of her niece's plastic plates. What are your plans for today? Kristina asked her sister.
Probably cleaning and sewing.
Marlena set the crispy bacon onto the table and nodded over at her older daughter.
Katie is outgrowing her dresses faster than I can sew them.
I can help you with that. Kristina moved around the table, making room for the rest of the dishes. Of course, I can do the cleaning if you're not feeling up to it. How did you sleep last night? Marlena sighed and touched her abdomen.
I couldn't get comfortable, but I feel fine.
She broke up a piece of bacon and handed it to Katie, and then did the same for Betsy Lynn before she started toward the door.
But hold that thought. I need to call Richard in for breakfast.
I'll pour the coffee. Kristina reached toward the cabinet with the mugs just as her cell phone rang. She pulled it from her pocket and found Tommy and Lydia Ruth Zook's number on the screen. Her stomach gave a little flutter. Marlena stopped and faced her.
Who is it?
Lydia Ruth must be in labor. Kristina answered the phone. Hello? Kristina! Tommy sounded out of breath. Lydia Ruth started having contractions a few hours ago. She thought it was false labor since she's not due for some time, but her water just broke.
Do your best to keep her comfortable with the methods I told you about.
I'm on my way. Donkey, Tommy said before disconnecting. Lydia Ruth's water broke. It's time. Kristina slipped the cell phone back into her apron pocket, grateful she had charged it with her deep cycle battery last night. Then she picked up her calendar from the counter. She flipped to March and shook her head. She's nearly 2 weeks early, which is unusual for a first baby, according to the books I've been reading. Just then, the back door opened and closed as Richard walked into the kitchen. His dark hair was mussed as if he had just removed his straw hat. He grinned as he looked over at his daughters.
Dot! Dot! Dot!
Betsy Lynn lifted a handful of scrambled eggs into the air and then dropped them onto the high chair tray. Hi, Betsy. Richard gave a little chuckle as he kissed Betsy Lynn's cheek and then touched Katie's nose. Hi, Katie. Then he gave his wife a special smile. Breakfast smells appetitlich.
Tommy Zook just called. Lydia Ruth is having her Bopley.
Marlena told her husband. Oh. His hazel eyes rounded as he looked over at Kristina. I'll get your horse and buggy ready. Donkey. Kristina hurried toward the stairs. I'm sorry to run, but I need to get my supplies.
I'll make you some breakfast to eat in the buggy.
Marlena called after her. Donkey. Kristina jogged up the stairs to her bedroom, where she grabbed her supply bag, which was always packed and ready to go. When Kristina re-entered the kitchen, Marlena held up a thermos and a plastic container.
Coffee and an egg and bacon sandwich.
Donkey. Kristina kissed her nieces on their heads. See you later, girls. Then she headed for the mudroom, where she pulled on her shoes and sweater.
Be safe and give my love to Lydia Ruth and Tommy.
I will. Kristina shouldered her bag and then took the sandwich and thermos from her sister's hands before stepping out into the crisp, early March morning. She shivered as she hurried down the back porch steps to where Richard finished hitching up the horse and buggy. She always appreciated how her brother-in-law not only took good care of Marlena and their children, but also went out of his way to help Kristina. He had welcomed her into their home after Lester died, and never once seemed to resent her presence. He was a good man with a giving heart, and she was grateful he had married her sister. Donkey for helping me get ready, she told him. Of course. Richard pulled open the door. Give Tommy and Lydia Ruth our regards. I will. She climbed up into the buggy, and then guided her horse down the rock driveway toward the road. Kristina managed to eat some of her breakfast.